Hello, and welcome to Manga Mommies.
A podcast where we chat about, you guessed it, mangas, and occasionally our lives as parents.
Nice to meet you all. I'm Kyo,
And I'm Kel.
and we are your host on the show. We hope you're having a great Monday. So please, would you kindly get a drink, take a seat, and let's chat. Welcome back, everyone. Today we will be talking about genres versus tropes. What really persuades the reader to stay for more. But first, how was your week, Kels? Besides the run-in with the quote SEO YouTuber scammer.
It's my week has been okay. It's been a little bit stressful. I've been gearing to go back up to school. We've got some family health crisis that I've been dealing with as far as caregiving and just prepping everything. I will say before we really get into it, I will mention the the scammer. Um, we at this time are not looking for somebody to look at our YouTube, tell us what we're doing wrong, tell us that they can fix everything, and then not take no for an answer. This
Right?
is a boundary. We had a little run-in with a gentleman who claimed to be what was the term that he used? Uh,
It's
Small fan or something like that. I'd have to
yeah.
look it up. But he had said that he was a small fan of the channel and that he noticed all these problems, and I was very respectful and I said, "No, sir, we're not looking. Thank you so much. YouTube is not our main focus. Obviously, we don't have a visual side to our podcast. We are straight audio, so you critiquing our video is pointless." And he kept going and going and going. And eventually I just kind of started talking to him like he was a bit of a toddler
Yeah.
because like I had to he was like, "I'm threatening to block you. Like, we don't need your help. I'm not interested." And he goes, "Well, clearly you're not fine." And then sends screenshots of our YouTube channel with, the newest video that was posted that has no views yet because it's our YouTube channel and we're not exactly a big podcast right now.
Yeah,
And
I'm over here just like you can't be a fan if you haven't heard any of it. Because I was over here on my side going, yeah, but the numbers are this way. He's what are you talking? I was so frustrated with the man.
oh, it was so funny. It was so funny. Her and I were having a completely separate chat, just like, "Excuse me, what?"
Yeah, I came to
It was
our Facebook.
Yep, our page there, and it was genuinely funny. It was something that I was like, "I don't understand why you won't take no for an answer, and you
He's
know
like,
nothing about our podcast."
yeah, because he was like, I understand that you don't feel, but however, I see from the numbers that y'all are doing pretty crappy. And I'm just like, yeah, because we're not caring about it too much and it's not our main branch and there's no video. So YouTube's more video based.
And even then, we're not even 10 episodes in. So,
Yeah.
like, shout out to the OG followers who have followed us thus far. But we're such a new podcast that if we were to massively blow up, I would really question if one of us had a nip slip.
Yeah, with a
I
blank screen.
Because, yeah, it's us, we're talking, we think we're funny as hell, we hope some of you do, but there's nothing crazy going on right now to the point where we should be pulling in thousands of viewers when we're not even 10 episodes in.
Yeah, let me give you a consultation for free. And I'm like, yeah, let me guess. First consultation, you have no video.
And then it's, "Can I have access to your YouTube so I can fix it?" No, dude, we're not giving you passwords. To be
I'm
fair,
giving you
I don't
nothing.
even have passwords, and I'm half of this duo. So, if I don't get them, you definitely don't get them. Go away.
Yeah, from your numbers here, and here's screenshots of your numbers. And I'm like, yeah, I know what my numbers are. I can see it too. Like, I'm not stupid over here. And he just kept on and on and on. Eventually, I just had to block him. I was like, this is just, he can't take no for an answer. And that's just, that is not good business. If literally good business to be like, well, I understand. And, thank you for your time. And here's my information just in case you decide to do reach out in the future. End it.
Oh, I think my personal favorite was the "You've lost a fan" crying emoji. "I'm never gonna watch your stuff again. I'm unfollowing you." And then our numbers never changed as far as our follower count, and I was like, "Good job, buddy."
Yeah. Even the views were the same. I was like, no.
Yeah. Like you went to our page, you found like the most recent video, and then you sent us screenshots of the most recent video that was uploaded. I think it was like 2 days prior or something like that.
Yeah.
I was like, "I am not in the mood for you at all." Like
Yeah, and our
I just
most recent
I
one actually's got, like, 2 views now. Like, I don't even know what they were talking about, unless he was the one that actually went and watched it after, but
maybe. So, shout out to the scammer who's probably gonna try to follow this one and message us again. You are ban-hammered, motherfucker.
yeah.
I blocked you so hard. I was like, "Mm-mm," and then I banned him off all the pages so that he can't message us or comment or start, doing a whole
I
bunch of
just
derogatory stuff.
I
Because
just didn't understand why you can't just take it. He just kept on and on. Screenshot, screenshot, screenshot. Are you sure you da, 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 da. And the last one it was just like, terrible.
oh, it was so funny. It was so funny. I was like, I like just the most random messages. Like, okay, I'll never follow your content again. Stay well, thank you, crying emoji. And then 5 minutes later, it was screenshots of our channel.
Yeah.
You said you're fine, but YouTube says you're not doing good at all. I'm like, okay, like, thanks, I guess. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to be offended by this or not.
Like, yeah, we know our numbers. Shit, go away.
And both of us are mothers. Your temper tantrum means nothing to me.
Yeah. And I
Like,
mean, for me switching
nothing at
over
all.
hosts, we lost views from me switching over host. So like I know what we had and what we lost and what we gained back. So it's just like I'm over here just sitting here like in a business mode, just going, okay, what did you like? I was very close to just quizzing him. What happened in episode 2? What episode did I have my heart attack?
Exactly. Like, what episode did we say this exact phrase?
Right? Can't deal with it. I'm not stupid.
I mean, apparently we sound like we are, which, I mean, I'll take it, but cool.
Nah, I probably
Anywho.
just randomly looked up lower rating ones and just picked through them.
Probably. But it was probably just like a generic mass spamming.
Yeah, pretty much. Because
But
they have like 0 followers and they go by a name that when you actually look up is an actual person, but it's not the same person.
yeah, I noticed that too. I was like, I don't understand what you're trying to get at here.
Yeah, and like the phone number was different, the email that quote unquote could contact them was different, and I was just like, yeah, okay, you're totally legitly the person you're claiming to be.
Yeah, just gotta absolutely love people. But anyway, so that is our little rant slash disclaimer slash boundary is we're not saying that you can't cold message us about something, but if we say no, no means no.
Exactly.
And I am more than willing to say no and block, say no and ban you, or say no and put your butt on blast. So, depending on how you choose to do it, I match energy and I am not the only one.
Yeah.
So,
I
keep
may
that in mind.
humor you for funsies, but
For
all the while I'm
bullshit.
the one in the background figuring out exactly who you are.
I was the one dealing with the face-to-face confrontation, and she's over here, like, Googling everybody and being like, "Is this actually who you say you are, and where's your IP address?"
Yeah,
Not a smart idea,
yeah.
because I'm gonna be over here like, "Ooh, look at the hand, talk to me," and she's like, "Ha ha ha, spamware in your computer."
I do have a business degree. I know what I'm looking for. I'm not stupid, I swear.
Like, we're, a decent form of besties, and I'm afraid of her, so you should definitely be afraid of her.
Fear me of love.
Yeah,
I always
very.
say, I'm gonna come over and beat you ass with love.
I was like, "Okay, but I'll have cookies." Do you need my address again?
Ah, yeah, I feel that. Ugh.
But anyway, back to our normally scheduled content now after our little mini tangent here. So I've just done a quick breakdown for everybody who is maybe unsure the difference between a genre and a trope. So a genre is the type of content of the manga that it falls into, such as shonen, shouju, kodomo, etc. We talked about those a little bit in the intro history episode. But a trope is considered a neutral term. They are basically just story ideas that have been repeated before. Think girl next door, enemies to lovers, fan service, even something as simple as sitting by the window in class or shouting names when you're upset can be a trope as well.
Exactly. And for those who doesn't follow the manga way, it's like fan fiction, magic realism, and science fiction, and fantasy, lovely horror, mysteries, and on my back. And drama.
Yes. So,
Mm.
I guess, in your opinion, like, do you think that the genre tends to have people hooked more, or do you think it's like the terrible tropiness within everything that kind of like grabs onto people, in your opinion?
In my opinion, I think it's kind of a mix of both. And the only reason I say that is because some people, no matter what, will go to the fairy tale, the fantasy, the folklore stuff. But then you get people that will only want to see stuff with the damsel in distress or the fallen hero or, stuff like that. So it's one of those things where it kind of goes, it can be back and forth, and it can be somewhat the same, but it can also go back and forth a lot. Because usually certain things like fantasy follows the same thing of damsel in distress and hero. They're
Mhm.
subcategories of the main genre. So it's, in my opinion, personally, I go for more of the genre than the trope, because some tropes I can try to weasel away from.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, because I like historical fiction and stuff like that too. But when it comes down to manga and stuff, I'm all down for fairy tale shit. Let's do it.
Oh, yeah. Like, I've been finding for me a lot lately, I've been jumping towards mangas and even animes that fall into, like, that isekai realm,
Yeah.
because there's just something, like, comedically funny to me about, like, getting thrown in as a main character who's supposed to be this world-changing person, and they're like, "Oh my god, I could barely tie my shoes yesterday, I was so depressed, and now you want me to, like, overthrow the big bad, what?"
Yeah. Pretty
So,
much.
like, that's where I've been lately with a lot of my stuff, and, like, I do have, like, genre preferences, I guess, where I tend to gravitate more towards certain genres than others, just simply because that's more of just the mental state I'm in at the time, so that's what I wanna read, but, like, I'm down for a good solid trope, even if I know it's tropey, even if I know that, like, "Oh, this is gonna follow the same plot line, or this is gonna be, like, a love triangle, and clearly this is gonna happen," and, like, it's very set up, it's very obvious, but if it's done well, and it's written well, and I can engage with it, I'm incredibly happy to be the simp for that trope.
Right. Yeah. It's one of those things, like it comes down to readers as a whole in a way. Like, do you want something that you can immerse yourself in, that you can become the main character, which a lot of people try to do that, and that's why you usually have like the lovely trope of just, the average everyday Joe doesn't really, has brown hair and green eyes, but you don't really care about the characteristics of what the character looks like because you're already imagining yourself as being the character. The boring character that could be anybody.
Yeah.
So, and a lot of that comes down into, that's one of the main tropes that I think pulls a reader in for how the storyline's going to be. Because I mean, you can sit there and have like an anti-hero or a love triangle, or as I call it, a love angle. Because it's never a triangle.
Yeah.
So, it's, you just have that foundation of, this is the character. And unless you really want to go and just make that character its own, like I think Harry Potter is one of them where, regular book wise, that the character is his own. It's not trying to portray just a blank canvas character for you.
Yeah.
Manga wise, that would be, well, Fruits Baskets is one of them that we covered. Let's see, one of the plain Jane ones. What would that be? Trying to think. Yeah.
I mean, I guess, like, I don't know how familiar you are with it. Lucky Star is kinda one.
Yeah, I'm familiar with it. I'm more familiar with the anime with that one.
Yeah, so am I. But, like, that one's kinda got that basic sort of tropey, like, "Oh, well, she's, like, super independent, but she's got this group of friends, but she's also super weird, and her dad's kind of incompetent,
Yeah.
and so she's gotta, like, take care of her dad who's incompetent." It's not necessarily a manga, but, Disney, where none of them have mothers.
Right. None of them. None of them have mothers. What was the other one? The stepsisters are always evil. The stepmothers are always evil. Likes to kill off the mothers.
It's like, "Tell me that you're upset about your life because."
My mother's dead. Yay! All the princes are forgettable.
Yeah. Oh, come on, you don't want generic man who can't remember you, number 1, or generic man who's only into you for your looks, number 2?
Right? Like, come on, people. Can't even. Mm-mm.
So, there's a lot of different ones that are sort of all over the place.
Yeah.
And even stuff like with, oh my god, my brain, like Sailor Moon and stuff, where it's, oh, you have these characters that they're females, but they're disguising themselves as males.
Yeah.
Nobody knows.
You
I'm also
know, and then
calling it
there's and then Tuxedo Mask where he's just like, "I have showed up. Goodbye.
right?
You did nothing."
I'm here. Distraction. Goodbye. Like, all right, you damn drama queen. What the hell?
So mean. I always love that though. But you didn't do anything. Goodbye. Yeah, but no, there's a lot of mangas that at least fall into other tropes and stuff. Like there's the damsel in distress one, there's the heroes, villains uniting. You know, and then you got your off character tropes, like there's always the clown in the episode, and there's always the jock or the nerd or the rebel kind of deal.
The fat, funny best friend.
Yeah, the
Well,
conspiracy theorist.
or when you start getting into, the paranormal stuff, it's always like the moody, disinterested vampire.
Yeah.
Is, apparently those are the only types of people that get turned into vampires, not like the nerdy ones. Who are like, "Hey, I saw this really cool book. You want to read it together in my coffin?" That'd be me.
That already sounds kind of weird. I mean, it's just it can be, I don't know. It goes both ways when it comes to that. Like I said, some people only like to read genres, which I mean like fantasy, folklore, all that other stuff. And then you got people that are only in it for, they're like, yeah, I can do whatever when it comes to genre, but it has to have a damsel in distress. It has to be action packed with heroes. It has to be,
Yeah, exactly.
got to have an anti-hero. It's got to have a villain.
Yeah.
A lot of people love that villain to lovers.
Sorry, I had to burp.
No, you're fine.
Like, I need to
Take
meet
80.
shit. I'm like, I feel like this one's coming, like, it's powered by the carbonation. I'm like, I need to turn my mic off for this or it's gonna be, like, real rough sounding, and I'm glad I did.
Oh, I bet.
That was something.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess what do we wanna leave our audiences off sort of with this one today?
I had thought about it. Uh,
I mean,
well,
I
I mean,
guess
I would say that, but I don't think did you give us what you thought about yours?
yeah,
Okay, I can't remember. I'm tired.
we're both
This is
tired.
like the
It's
first
fine.
break I've gotten from my kids in like a little bit, so I'm just like exhausted.
That wasn't like, "Hey, I'm dying."
Yeah. Well, not dying, just tapping the key on the edge.
Listen, listen, you're hitting that G at the sound of Black Parade over here. You can't be doing that shit. Alright? No G for
Yep.
you.
Yep. All the G's.
I mean, I guess one thing I would be curious to know from everybody who's wanting to listen in, like, what is the one trope or the one genre that you have that instantly is like, "I can't read this. This is horrible. I have to put this down and walk away. No, 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 no." Like, what is your anti-trope? What is the one thing that you cannot stomach to read?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Because, like, I know for me, when it's the whole, like, the whole harem thing, when it's done so badly and it's just because, like, the guy, like, gets his harem or whatever, and, like, all the other men, the only reason they don't have women is because they're portrayed as, like, incompetent idiots and, like,
Yeah.
fools and just completely stupid, but this one guy that has all these girls is, like, big, macho, strong, "Oh, I'm so smart," and then he turns out to have, like, no personality, like, that for me is just, mm-mm. I want nothing to do with it. I am so just not about it. I can't, pretty much,
And I'm over here just like, "Ooh, look, a butterfly."
pretty much.
I'm pretty damn bad. Don't have the kids around. ADHD's bad. Oh dear. Okay. We're here just like, ooh, I can get some stuff done around. Again, I'm having a lot of ADHD. I'm having really bad ones today. Like I'm like, what are we doing?
Squirrel?
Yeah, pretty much. It's pretty much squirrel.
That point where you're trying to, like, micromanage everything?
uh yeah. Because there's like 6 million things that need to get done. Yeah, pretty much. Not really damsel in distress. It's what is it? It's like I guess it would be considered damsel in distress. The girl can't do anything for her fucking self.
Yeah.
Or even the same way with the guy. Guy can't do nothing with it for himself either. I can't stand those. Like I'm okay with like damsel in distress, but when it comes to like everyday shit, I can't do something without a man. Like why am I alone? I can't pick up this paper. I don't know. I'm making up some shit, but it. it's just ugh. Oh, The Chosen One. That one too. I can't stand that one either.
Yeah.
I'm
What
like,
do you
that's
mean?
been
You don't want
overused.
it to be, like, predestined by the gods?
Ugh. Yeah, totally. Can't just live my life. Gotta have something predestined.
I think the only, I mean, I saw it as an anime, but I'm pretty sure it's a manga as well. Quickly research. Yeah. So, the only sort of like anything to do with that where it's like, "Oh, it's predestined, blah blah blah," that I actually genuinely enjoyed was the Saga of Tanya the Evil.
Yeah.
Like that one, I was like, "Okay, this is cool." It is an isekai, it's military dark fantasy. Um is really, really, really fun. And it's basically like this dude doesn't believe in like God. He calls it being X. And so being X essentially just rips him back into and isekais his butt into like another world as a little girl and goes, "Until you praise me, bad shit's gonna happen to you." And this
Mm.
guy's like, "Well, I'm gonna beat you." Like, this is nothing, this is a minor setback, and it's just kind of like this funky war, and it's very reminiscent of, like, World War II-esque with
Yeah.
fantasy and everything, and that's the only one that I'm like, "Okay, I can get behind this predestined crap because it was done so well."
Yeah, I can understand that. Because there is some where it's, it made me make me go, ugh, but there's sometimes where it's told just right to where I can overlook it. I think it's more of just it's overly used.
Yeah.
Like every hero movie has to have, oh, well, the person ended up being destined to do it. And I'm like, good for them. Is it really destiny though? Like, could have been destiny
Yeah.
that they sat on their couch and didn't do shit.
Or that they walked to the store and then got hit by a bus and got fucking isekai'd into a different universe. I'm calling you out, Konosuba.
Yeah.
Like, dude's like a depressed teenager who
Like
freaking
like one big example that I have that I actually like around the trope, but it's mostly around the nice guy trope is a manga that's called Train Man, and it's really good because he is a geek. He's a loner that keeps to himself, and he helps a girl on the train, and uh, he actually likes her, and he goes on a forum that's anonymous, and uh, pretty much is talking about her, and a whole bunch of people just rally around, in the forum trying to help him win the girl. So it's super sweet. But it's not
yeah,
the trope. It's nice guy, but typical nice guy, but not the trope of nice guy where it's just like, I'm nice to you, so you better fucking love me.
yeah, quote unquote nice guy.
Yeah,
I feel that.
yeah. Which I highly recommend if y'all.
Like, yes, we do manga of the month, but we do a plethora of recommendations as well.
I just don't list them all for you to read. You have to search for them by yourself because that's a lot.
But I mean, for the most part, a lot of the mangas that we will reference, you're gonna get the title or at least part of the title. So, quick Google search because Google is free.
Yeah.
And you'll probably be able to find it or at least a synopsis or, spark notes if you want to see something and you're like, maybe I can read this. Um, but yeah, I'm definitely curious to sort of hear everybody else's what is the one genre or trope that absolutely deters you? It's like the be all end all. I can't deal with this. I'm done. This book is going away. I'm never looking at it again. Burn it. Kind
Right.
of situation.
Yeah, and I mean it's not just because of I would say mostly it has to do with the trope, but it also can be more hating it along the line. Well, we actually have an episode in the future about that, which are most hated manga.
Yes. And I have been thinking long and hard
Oh, I'm
about
sure.
that
I'm
one.
sure.
'Cause
So that'll come
I'm
up
like,
actually later on. So, and even, even if it's not really a trope or a genre, it's just a manga that you read that you absolutely despised out of everything. It could have been the writing, it could have been the artwork, it could have been who wrote it. Some people really hate certain people that write certain things. Just let us know in the comments, especially this episode and a few other episodes, and maybe it'll get featured in the future episode of that.
Yes,
And if
I
there's
think
any
that's a great
topics y'all
idea.
want us to cover, as well, just let us know and we'll see what we can do for you.
Yeah, because as much as this is our podcast, we want this to be a podcast that you contribute to as well and that you feel included in as part of our little community. Um, we have yet to come up with a name to call all you people, but we'll get there.
I don't know
Maybe
either.
someday.
I think I'll let them pick their own name. Being called the
My
manga mommies does not
no.
go well for what the audience will be called.
I mean, my brain is so tired it came up with Mongites, and I'm like, that sounds like some sort of,
That sounds like an
bug.
STD. That sounds like
Yeah,
an STD.
terrible. It's terrible, but I'm so tired.
You've been reading that horror a little too hard.
Maybe.
Oh, yeah, I need to finish it up
Yeah.
before next week. Duh, duh, duh.
Yeah, because we have 2 mini
Duh.
episodes to record next week.
Yeah, we do. That's gonna be fun, fun, fun for us.
Yeah. If you made it this far in the episode, we want to say thank you. We couldn't do this without your support. If you'd like to subscribe and become an official Manga Mommies member, the link will be in the show notes. For Manga of the Month, the PDF, copy, or free website will be located below. If you feel up to it, like, subscribe, or share our podcast so we can find more people just like you. We hope you have a great rest of your day, whatever time that happens to be, and we can't wait to see you next week.
Stay tuned and thanks for listening.